Present.
Present. And Treasurer Kalyani, not see online and not in person.
No, not in person, but I am going to text her right now just to
Okay,
remind.
and let me know, and I'll change the roll call when she arrives. And Secretary Rachel is present. And then, do we have any of our president's cabinet? Devin, oh, yes. So Devin Lopez.
Present.
Cool.
Thank you. Okay, I think that's it for e-board, yeah? Any of our faculty advisors? We have, Nia Smersina.
I am present.
Yay.
Present. Perfect. Okay.
Okay, cool. So we're gonna go ahead and dive in. I did text Kalyani, so she should be jumping in on the Zoom as soon as she reads that. As a quick update, our other directors, thank you so much for being here, Devin. I really appreciate it. Everybody else, most of them will not be starting until a little bit later in the fall. I believe August 6th was the date that I marked for their first day. So some of them won't be here until then. So we're not really counting on their attendance, but we love having Devin. Yay. Okay. But we're now going to move into public comment. Public comment will be taken during this agenda item. No action may be taken on a matter raised under this item until the matter is included on an agenda. As an item on which action may be taken, comments will be limited to 3 minutes per person. Persons making comments will be asked to begin by stating their name for the record and to spell their last name. The board chair may elect to allow additional public comment on specific agenda items when the agenda is being considered. In accordance with Attorney General Opinion number 00-047, as restated in the Attorney General's Open Meeting Law Manual, the chair may prohibit comment if the content of that comment is a topic that is not relevant to or within the authority of the body, or it is or if the content is willfully disruptive of the meeting by being irrelevant, repetitious, slanderous, offensive, inflammatory, irrational, or amounting to personal attacks, or interfering with the rights of other speakers. Is there any public comment at this time? Okay. None here in person. I don't hear any online. And I don't believe anyone's calling in.
Hi, Trey.
Oh, hello, and Kalyani. Kalyani is present at 12:05 p.m. Thank you.
And
okay,
I do not see any in email as well.
Perfect, and none in our email. So we are going to go ahead and close public comment, and at that time also open item 4, our consent agenda. In consent agenda, we just have approval of minutes for 4602. Rachel, were the minutes put up into the drive? Do you know?
4602. Give me a moment.
Okay, take your time.
You can go ahead and then I will. Can we go ahead and jump back? I don't know if we can do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're just gonna table consent agenda line 4 for the next little bit, and we'll jump back into that later today. And at the same time, we're gonna open item 5, reports and recommendations. I'm gonna go out of order today. So we're gonna start with Devin because he's here. Unless Devin, you don't want to be thrown on the spot, but if you have a report, we would love one from you. But
You know, after being president for a year, I'm used to being thrown on the spot. So I don't really have like too many updates to give right now. I'm just excited to join you all again for another year with GPSA. I am more than willing to take on any tasks that you guys have for me. Some things that I wanted to do just sort of like as part of my role is to like just pay attention to all the different like city council, county commission meetings that are going on. And then just getting that information over to you guys so that you can distribute it, especially if it's regarding like zoning things, high capacity housing, things like that, especially that'll be more affordable for students. I'll just keep an eye on those sort of decisions and see if we can work with them to get better policy at the local level. Other than that, I'm also pretty excited for the legislative session coming up and working with you all to hopefully put together some type of lobbying trip, or at least put together like an official lobbying plan. But yeah, I am here for any questions if you ever have any. I know the constitutional revisions were something that were sort of being put on the back burner for a little bit until we can get like better revisions or something. So I'm also more than willing to hear any recommendations for action going forward.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Devin. Again, we really appreciate having you back here. I literally don't know what we would do without you. So excited having you. And all of those plans sound great. We definitely want to organize a lobbying trip up to Carson during the legislative session. And I would definitely love to have you there if you're able to be there. But yeah, no, and then Constitution, I think that's actually on this agenda. So yes, Peter Goetz from General Counsel got back with all of his changes. I don't know if you ever saw those ones. I know it was like right during our transition period, but he had just a few like organizational changes. Nothing was like too substantial of like content changing. Hi Nia, welcome back. But nothing was too substantial. It was just kind of moving things around. So we can definitely open that and chat more. But I'm thinking I did not have the most time. I got stuck traveling until very late the other day. So I did not look through it as much, but we'll definitely take a few minutes so that we all can review everything. But thank you so much. I'm so excited to have you back. But on that note, let's go into our other, or does anybody else have any questions for Devin while he's here? Okay, not seeing any. We're gonna go back into our reports and let's head to our VP. Nehemiah, do you got anything for us?
Yeah, thank you so much. So mine is just a shout out. I just want to first of all say thank you to Nia, and also thanks to the executive house and also to the sponsorship committee members. Normally before now, whenever we make an application or we review applications for students, and then we send the roster to financial aid to get the money kind of processed and all that. It takes a lot of time. But I want to say that the last committee meeting we had that was I think June 24th or June 27th to be precise. And just in 3 weeks, the funds has been disbursed to the students. So I think at this point, majority of them should have started receiving the money in their account. So I just want to say shout out to Nia, to the GPSA, IBO, the sponsorship committee, and also to financial aid for helping us to achieve that. And secondly, not a report, but a recommendation, right? In our previous executive meeting, I talked about where we created a kind of RSO sub committee in the sponsorship committee. So they are going to be tasked with reviewing the application for the GRSOs, while the others will be tasked with the application of just the sponsorship application. So we looked at it as committee members, and I was thinking if it's going to be, I'm recommending that we see the RSO subcommittee as part of the sponsorship committee. So currently we have just 10 members in the sponsorship committee, which I know when it's time to get paid, they're going to be paid their normal stipend or scholarship as the case may be. So I want us to include these other 3 members who are also in the RSO subcommittee to the sponsorship committee. So we're going to have 13, because basically the reason why I'm saying it is because they are going to review the GRSO application separately, and they are also going to be part of the sponsorship committee, where we're going to look at what they did as a subcommittee in the RSO. So I'm just thinking, I'm recommending if we can add the 3 of them to the 10 sponsorship committee members we have, so that they can be part of the stipend or the scholarship as others. Thank you.
Yes, no, thank you so much, Nehemiah. And I definitely think that we can do that. We're working on budget, Kalyani, Nia, and I right now. So we'll make sure that we factor that in so that those subcommittee members can also get the $100 stipend as well, then, if we're going to make them part of sponsorship. I don't know the whole process to do that. I believe maybe if Neil wants to jump in, but yeah, no, I'm 100% on board for doing that. So I don't know if we have to do a bylaw change to increase the cap of sponsorship committee or what, but I will look into that, get an answer to you unless Nia wants to. Oh, Devin has his hand up, so let's go to Devin.
Yeah, I'm gonna double check really quick on the bylaws. I don't think we have a cap on the number of people that could be on the sponsorship, like written into the bylaws, but I'll double check for that and have that go through committee and go to council if we need to do that change.
Perfect. And Nia, you have your hand up.
Actually, with the constitutional changes that Devin helped push through, the cap should get removed. So there is no cap.
Oh, perfect. Well then,
But we also can turn to Devin if there ever should be, or maybe is that something we would want like into writing? Maybe that's something we could pass on to the Constitution Bylaws Committee to just consider, even if there's no change necessary. It's up to you guys.
yeah. I mean, I'm always a fan of having things done on paper so that there's continuity and people can remember in the future. So I say we should just put it up to Constitution and bylaws, and that'll give us a good agenda item to put onto that agenda anyway. So
This is an
yes.
interpretation request, maybe?
Yeah, and I like that.
I just made that up. I don't know if that's a thing, but I just made it up in my head. What do you think, Devin?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of it like procedurally how we would do that. What we could just do is have it go to a vote, just take a majority vote of the committee, and then we can just submit out a like an opinion of the committee regarding what the language requires.
I like it. Okay. Cool beans. I should not say cool beans on a public meeting. I feel a little dorky doing that. Okay. Does anybody else have any questions for VP Nehemiah while he's here?
Actually, just a quick statement. The last sponsorship meeting, he pulled in financial aid and talked to them directly and did some really good proactive steps to help our rosters get processed quickly and effectively. And I really appreciate his just gumption for doing all of those things and getting things moved along. But all of our rosters have been processed. There are no awards of any kind for GPSA are outstanding right now.
Yay, we love it. Thank you so much, Nehemiah. Doing all the work. We love to see it. Okay, and then so let's go ahead and move into our treasurer's report. Kalyani, do you have anything for us?
So as Trey said, we met last month, and then myself, Nia, and Trey, we met together, and then we worked on the budget, and it's in some draft stage. We need some more information. So hope Nia is back, and then yeah, we work on that, and then we finalize it. Also, I feel like for Nia, if I get the access to the workday report, so it's very easy for me to just download and then be ready with the reports even for the council meeting, or be available for any information that the people need. So that's a one constraint from my side, because always I'm dependent on reports to upload and then look at that. Sometimes it's because of that delay, everything is getting delayed. So yeah, even for budget, like we just need some more information from people, so I'm just gathering that, sending all the emails. Once it's done, we'll present to the council meeting, and definitely we'll accommodate all the scholarship needs, and then yeah, for graduate professions.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Also, don't forget, we do have to put our budget to Ways and Means Committee before we go to council. So since you chair that committee, we'll chat later to get make sure that goes on your agenda as well. But does anybody else have any questions for our treasurer at the moment? Okay, works for me. Thank you again, Kalyani. And then let's move into secretary report. Does our secretary, if she's available, I know she might have had to step out.
I'm here.
Oh, perfect. I didn't know if you had to step out or not, because I know you're busy. So, but please.
No, it's like a mile and a half, so I can't just pop out. I don't see on the agenda to speak about the I want to make some changes to how we ask our presenters to come to us with the PowerPoint per my meeting with accessibility. And so I would like to bring that to council to just make sure everybody is on board, that we have a requirement that we pose to people who are coming to us with a presentation. And what that will look like is a template that will be built by Accessibility Office. And then that will have sort of like requirements in it, like they can't have any more than like 3 figures, and they have to be properly annotated and all of that. And the template will explain everything that they need to bring to us and how their slides should look. Because right now, as people present and provide us with PDFs, they're not accessible, so we can't actually follow the guidelines of like how we post our minutes along with these PowerPoints. So after talking to accessibility, that's how they recommended doing it. That's how CSUN does it. And that will give us a little more continuity as well, and how the way that people present to us. So I can work with accessibility to set up that template and what that looks like. And I would like to, I guess, bring it to a vote to say that we would like to require people who present to follow this process.
Sorry, I'm just writing down.
Yeah.
Yes, I see Nia's giving the little praise hands. So
Yeah.
am I. I very much like that idea. We can put it on our next council meeting agenda if that works for you.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yes, sorry, I didn't want to put it. Because I know you briefly mentioned it. I didn't want to
Yeah.
put it on this one because I didn't know if you were going to be available.
Yeah, I
just
wasn't
didn't
sure
want to
either.
talk on it, so I was like, let's just hold off one
That's
more
fair.
meeting. But yes,
So
no.
can we like yeah, I wasn't sure how that gets discussed. Is that something we can just bring to council and then bring it to a vote, and then I'll work on the template kind of thing?
Yeah, we can mark it as like for possible action. So then if it's not fully ready for it to be voted on and have the templates already done, then that gives us a little bit of a window and we can just table it to the next meeting. But
Okay.
we can still open it for discussion, get council's opinions, make sure they're okay with it. And then we can move that forward through for a vote, so that we can start having that just as a standard for us moving forward.
Perfect. Yeah, accessibility said they will need a little bit of time, so for the work to get done, but they'll work on it, so I can get at least a template going as soon as possible. But that'd be good if we can like bring it up, table it, and then once I have it complete.
Perfect.
Okay.
Do you know, did they mention if there was going to be a cost to that at all?
No, there's no cost to that. They work with us. They just need enough lead time to be able to do the work. So.
Okay,
Yep.
perfect. Well, we love to see it. And thank you so much. Does anybody have any questions for Rachel? Okay, not seeing any. I'm going to jump into the briefest of reports because I know we have a pretty packed agenda as always. But things are going good. Sorry, I've been a little MIA. I have been traveling for the last like 13 days, so bear with me. But things are going good over here. I have set up meetings with all of the deans and provost and vice provosts, just to say hi, hello. Here's who we are. Don't forget about us. See what their goals are as individual schools and programs for the years, seeing where we can kind of blend and work together. I've met with Provost Reddy a few times now just to talk agendas, see what he has going on. We're prepping for legislative session. Thank you, Nia, for connecting me with Constance. That was super helpful to finally see the list of all of our legislative priorities as a university. And we're doing great things there. I have my first meeting with President Heavey in August now. He was out this last week, so we had to reschedule. But things are going well. What else? Oh, I have an email from Dr. Lynn. Let me just open that. So I'll remind everyone at council, tomorrow, but we do have a few committees where we are looking for GPSA. Sorry, my computer's popping up a thing. Wow, on every visit. Okay. We do have a couple GPSA representative requests for some committees and working groups from the grad college. Those are going to be graduate program review, graduate awards needs 2 members, graduate research and student success working group, postdoctoral affairs advisory board, and the graduate student research awards committee. And then also, please know, GPSA president is also seated on graduate appeals, and I'll stay there. But if any of you want to be on any of those 5 committees, let me know. I will send out an email to everyone after tomorrow's meeting as well, just to gain feedback and get interest. But yeah, let us know if you want to be on any of those committees. What else is going on? Sorry, I'm just double checking my meeting folder. That is it for my report. Does anybody have any questions, comments, concerns, emotional outbursts for me? Please no.
Just real quick, I'm putting into the group chat the text from Constance, so we have it for the minutes, but it's also just the link to the legislative priorities and then her note about how it's not fully approved yet, but it was shared with March BOR. So I didn't go back far enough to find the slide.
Perfect.
I mean, I was looking through the NSHE records.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Nia. Alrighty. So then I don't see any other cabinet members here. And let's jump into our manager and advisors report. Nia, back to you.
Hello, folks. All right, so I just have a couple of little things. So I'm putting together the agenda for our retreat. We also had the dates, and I think we're going to talk about this a little bit later, but I'm working on putting a tentative agenda together for the retreat. So I'll save that for later. And then there's another little note I want to bring up to this group in case you all see this, experience it. It's a weird quirk with financial aid with rewards during an in-between period when enrollment for the next upcoming semester opens, and scholarships or awards get retroactively applied to a semester. So it's been around for a long time, but I do know a workaround. I just want to give you guys some background in case you guys run into this. You can help folks and tell them what to do. Basically, for example, spring 2026, the research forum awards or anything related to sponsorship. Sometimes scholarships won't get released to the student if there's no outstanding balance or there's no remaining outstanding balance on the account, or it's a scholarship award of some kind for sponsorship or something. But you've already, let's say it's spring semester, it's June or May, and you've already enrolled in classes for the summer or for the fall. What happens is there's a weird limbo period where if a scholarship gets awarded retroactively to the current semester, but you've already enrolled in classes for an upcoming term or in credits for an upcoming term, it might, and you've paid any part of your balance back in January, February, at the beginning of the semester with a debit or credit card, it'll apply the scholarship. It'll release basically the credit card or debit card paid portion of your scholarship and keep it floating in limbo to basically apply to the upcoming enrollment. So students won't see an award go to them directly to their bank account or through a check. The workaround for this, for some folks, it's fine. For some folks, it could be an issue if you have a waitlisted class, but the workaround is to literally unenroll from your classes for just a few moments and then immediately re-enroll in those credits. I understand that for not everybody, that doesn't always work. Especially if it's a waitlisted seat. In that case, I would have them reach out to the professor on record and just see if they're able to retroactively add them back in so they don't accidentally get kicked out, or they could wait until the upcoming term. What will happen is those funds will then get released to them about 10 days before their upcoming enrolled term starts. It's a weird little quirk in the background. Financially, it's been aware of it for a long time, but that is the workaround to get those funds released to them. So I have seen that in a few instances, especially over the summer, especially with some of the funds that we've recently awarded this summer to spring semester. So just make you guys aware of that. Or if it's ever happened to you, you know what to do.
Okay.
And then for other things, I appreciate you guys being so patient. I know that I've been away for a while this July. We had a series of trips coming up, and now I'm trying to write my dissertation proposal this week. But I will be back in the office on Monday. and we will be able to touch base then. I also know that we're trying to get the budget together. So I have some time next week if y'all want to find a window to sit down for a few hours and try to hash any more details out, but I do have time when I'm back in the office. So just let me know. We can find a window. Or
Yeah.
even the following week if that works better for everybody.
Hi, sorry, I'm Trey for the record. So I would prefer if we could do next week. I am free Monday morning. At any time, Kalyani, if you have your calendar too. I am also free Tuesday. I'm not free Thursday. Or I'm not free Wednesday. Yeah. So if we could do Monday or Tuesday, that would be the best for me. I just
I'm
have
very
2
flexible on
meetings with the deans at 1 o'clock both days. So other than that, I'm free.
Okay. I'm very flexible on Monday. Actually, Tuesday's a little bit jam-packed, but Monday I'm flexible. And then that brings me to my next point. We do have a wonderful GA in the office who's Alicia Carr. She's there until 4 o'clock today, actually. And she works on different side projects for GPSA. Then yeah, go give Kalyani a chance to look at her schedule. But yeah, Monday would be best for me, by the way.
Yeah, Monday I'm flexible.
For you guys, does Monday 10:30 work?
Mhm.
We can
Yeah.
go 10:30 to like 12:30. Give us 2 hours.
Okay.
And just for the record, yes, we're saying again for the record, this is the budget meeting between the GPSA president and the GPSA treasurer. We had a meeting before I left in June, but this is just to hash out the president's budget that he's going to recommend to the Ways and Means Committee to then take on to council.
Perfect. Thank you.
I'll send over a calendar invite. Both.
Yes.
And then we also have a wonderful GA named Alicia Carr in the office. She was our previous GPSA VP for 2 years. She was also GPSA secretary the year prior to that. And then she's been a student worker at the Commons for a little while. I don't even remember how long, but she's been there for a minute. I think she might be the longest person. To her and one other student. Anywho. But if you guys have any special projects or special reports or data you would like pulled, she's incredibly familiar with the details, with the Google Drives, she's a very good institutional memory resource, especially if I'm not available. She's a really good resource. But if you have any special projects you'd like to request from her, I do ask that you just kind of go through. We can connect together, but just let me make sure that I know about it because we don't want to get her plate to get overwhelmed with things. But she's a good resource for special reports, especially if you want very specific data. She's very good with data. She's really good at creating surveys. She's a good resource.
Yes, and she did amazing work on the breakdown of our budget that we were talking about last week, Nia. Literally, she just showed it to me like 10 minutes before here. And I was like, oh my God, I'm fangirling right now. So she did amazing. And I already told her I owe her lunch or something for all of her very hard work. So
that's great. That's funny.
Cool. Okay. Any other questions for Nia? All righty. Then
have one special request of our wonderful GPSA Secretary Rachel, and I know that she's been doing a ton of work on ADA compliance documents. I would love to have a sit down with you at some point and you teach me some of the things that Jara has taught you or that UNLV has taught you, because I would love to have a sit down and make sure that I'm still doing things the right way. Because there's a good chance I'm not.
Yes, I have a lot I would like to go over with you. So yes.
Oh, let's find time for a one-on-one then.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks.
Weakness. Okay. Any other comments for Nia? Okay, not seeing any. We're gonna go ahead and move on. Nehemiah, did you have any sponsorship committee reports, or are we good to keep going? I know you kind of mentioned it in your VP report.
Yeah, so basically we're going to be having our meeting, sponsorship committee review meeting on Monday, this coming Monday, by 7 p.m. to be precise. I've actually drafted how we are going to allocate the budget throughout the 12 calendar months. That's for fiscal year 2027, since we're giving $190,000. So basically, I've been able to do that. So just to take it to the committee on Monday and then hopefully they get that approved, and then we'll start running with that. And we have assigned all the applications to all the committee members. So basically, that's what I have at the moment. So yeah, thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And then I don't believe any of our
We
other
have a
committees.
raised hand.
Oh, sorry, I don't see it. Who has their hand up?
Hi, it's me.
Oh, hi, Devin. Sorry, my laptop is like not the best right now, so jump in.
got it.
Sorry.
No, thank you. So just on the sponsorship point, with what was mentioned earlier about the number of members, I pulled this from this was adopted by council in May when we passed all those revisions to make committees more clear on what they do. So minimum of 3 members, not exceed 7, but that excludes sponsorship. The vice president has the power to determine the number of members, but all appointments still require approval from council. The only thing that we would probably have to change in the bylaws is we do not have anything there that says that sponsorship is a charge of GRSO funding, or RSO funding generally. So we might just have to include like one more clause saying this is also a responsibility of the sponsorship committee. But that's all I really had.
No, awesome. Thank you so much, Devin. Then yeah, if we could put that in Constitution and Bylaws Committee, that would be fantastic. And yeah, Nehemiah, then you're good to go. We can just increase sponsorship members. So
Thank you.
yeah, I don't know. Do we have to tell anyone that we're doing that, or can he just do it? Should he send out like a memo to the people?
If they're not already appointed to the committee, you would
Well-
probably just need, sorry.
Oh no, so I was going to say, we did put them up. Council already approved them to be a subcommittee of sponsorship. So do you know, would they have to be put up again just to be on sponsorship, or because they're already on subcommittee, are they?
I think it would be you could probably operate for now, just like sort of fusing the two, but maybe just have it go up for an official vote for the council, just to be like, hey, we're going to just scrap the subcommittee thing and just incorporate it all into one big committee.
Perfect.
Yes, and then sorry, and then for Nia, I also just realized that I never published the the new document with the final language from May. So Rachel, I will work on that, and just get you like the final document so you can upload that to the website.
Perfect. Okay, cool. So Nehemiah, I will make sure that goes on the next council agenda, just so that we have the documentation there. But feel free to just start it for now, and I'll just make sure on paper we're good to go in our August meetings.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you all. Okay, we are now going to move. I'm going to take us, let's see, where are we at? I'm going to take us a little bit out of, actually, no, we're not. We're going to go into item 6, unfinished business. Can I have a motion to open item 6, unfinished business?
So moved.
Perfect. Moved by our secretary, Rachel. Can I get a second?
Second by Nehemiah Chukwu.
And seconded by our vice president. So then real quick, do I have to vote? No, I just need a motion and to open it, right?
Yeah, I did just like a quick vote after I
Okay.
got the motions.
Perfect. And then, so all in favor of opening unfinished business item 6, please say aye.
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 Okay, with a vote of 4 to 0 to 0, we're going to move into unfinished business, 6A. This is our constitutional revision review. There is a reference doc attached. So give me a second while I also pull that up. My apologies. Council exec. Okay, so in this doc is all of the revisions and changes. Wait, is this the right? Yeah. So these are all the comments and everything from Peter Goetz from General Counsel with UNLV. Basically, one again, Devin, thank you for the heaviest lift ever on fixing this constitution. All of his changes are just kind of moving things around and restructuring. There's not really been any major, like, this can't be here things. So I will just be honest, I have not fully read through all of his comments because there was like 147 of them, I think. So, but again, all just like grammatical or moving things around. So I think that those are good. But does anybody have any comments, questions, concerns on those? I see Rachel with her hand up.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it because I had to open the Word to look for the comments. There was something I wanted to clarify about numbers. Let me find it. Yes. So, gosh, what page is this? It does not say. So it's under the section 2, composition and election of GPSA council. And it is letter red lines. Okay, letter A. GPSA council shall consist of 25 representatives. So this might just be me clarifying what is supposed to be, but does the number need to be here if our graduate colleges and departments change? Like, how does that change this number of representatives? Can we be more generic about it? Or I guess like
I can take that question.
Please.
Yes. Okay. So Devin Lopez for the record. Yeah. So this was actually a big point of debate on like whether we should even like put a number. Should we keep it at the 52 that we have right now? We decided on 25 because that would, within the budget, it'll allow us to like essentially double the amount of stipend that our representatives get. And it would also shield it from any like major changes in like the colleges. If like 2 colleges were combined, if one was split into 2, it would still require that each college gets a minimum of 1 seat. It would just change the calculus of how many seats each college gets if there was another one added. But keeping it at 25, we didn't really feel like was too restrictive. And we also did some like background math to make sure that like it wouldn't be like over providing too much influence to one college over the other. And that was sort of the sweet spot number that prevented one college from having like disproportionate amount of influence in the council.
Okay, so I guess I'm not clear then. Like, so the composition of the GPSA council will consist of 25 representatives always, no more than and then like, yeah, maybe you can just give me like, so I understand how that it consists, because like we had the council bring up the other day about the IDP portion of it and how we couldn't have like 2 from that department because IDP was technically covered by the public health, or we couldn't have public health because they were in the IDP. Like, how does this number impact that? Does this help that situation?
Yeah, so I think one of the biggest things that we wanted to do by moving to college level representation was to get rid of that sort of like block, I guess. Like
Okay.
particularly within psychology, I know they have a bunch of different programs that are very siloed, but they only get one single rep for the entire
Correct.
for the entire department.
Yeah.
So by aggregating it to the college level, this would essentially make sure that everyone within the college votes for the representatives, and it's not just like one faculty member gets to choose who the representative is for that department.
Or leave it to us, is our case.
Right.
They're like, you deal with it. Okay, so we'll have 25 that get voted on at the college level, but there's no like makeup of it. So it could be like 5 from psychology and none from a department, or
Yeah, so it would be so we wouldn't I think it was we put something in here to limit like giving one department like a lot of
Okay.
seats in an election. I would have to double check. But we did make it, we did distribute the seats proportional based upon headcount. And we chose headcount because grad students pay just a flat fee for GPSA, not a like per credit fee like Reno does. Yeah, Nina, do you want to go ahead and jump in?
Do you remember that calculator we made and it showed like I'm looking for that right now. Is that in our Constitution bylaws file?
I think it might be in the president's Google Drive. So Trey, you might have to look it up. It was titled something like council apportionment or council seat distribution, something like that.
Okay, let me just.
Yeah, so it looks like head count got crossed off by Peter. I'm trying to see that is like readdressed somewhere. A lot of that language got crossed off by Peter, it looks like from here. And let me see what the comments say. Head count. Oh, it's not a comment. It just says he deleted it. Let me see.
Oh, perfect. I do have that here. Let me copy a link.
Oh, do you really? That's fantastic.
Are we allowed to send a link and open it during this meeting? Because the public doesn't technically have access to it.
It
I'll
is.
screen share it.
What'd you say?
Screen share it.
Okay.
It's also not a document being voted on right now, so that's fine.
Oh, perfect. Here, then I'm gonna throw it in here, but you can also screen share.
Oh, I found it.
Electoral district allocation. Aha. That's what it's called.
There it is.
I'm going to add words like council, seat,
Okay.
apportionment.
And I also cannot see any of you if you're talking right now with my screen shared, so just so you're all aware. Okay. But yeah. And while we're all looking at this, are there any other questions, comments, concerns? We have an expert, Devin, here as the author of it all, so.
Oh, actually, I'll add a little bit of, there was a different sheet. Maybe we had used it. Maybe I never shared it out, or maybe we just did a screenshot of it. So back in the day, there was like a little chart that we had shown. So Devin found that formula to calculate why he did 25 seats. It's in the minutes from a past council meeting, so we could probably go back and find that too if we need to. But it was just like a little graphic that showed why that number and why that number was actually more equal. It's a really interesting calculation. And now it showed that actually everybody's vote is actually swayed quite a bit. So like College of Ed, they have tons of students. So a College of Ed students representatives vote. There's 4 seats there in that college. They actually carry less weight than like, for example, somebody from the College of Fine Arts. So the way that this calculation works, like it's never going to be quite perfect, but the way it works is that everyone's vote has more weight together, more equally than before.
Gotcha. Okay. So then, I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm a fan of that. And I think it'll also help make quorum and everything a little more maintainable. But
If I could add something to that really quick.
yeah, please.
Devin Lopez for the record. Yeah, so to Rachel, your point, I'm not seeing anywhere that Peter might have added back in where the allocation is made of seats. But I think what probably he was doing is just saying like we need to cut out all the like extra language and then just move that into the bylaws. Because it's more standard. I realize that this was a very verbose draft of the Constitution. So I think he probably just wants something that's very simple and then we hash it out like very specifically in the bylaws.
Yeah, I did find it at the line like E crossed off D is what's showing. It does say a portion to electoral districts, is proportion of their enrollment headcount, and then about the seat allocations. And then his comment there is please move it to the bylaws. So you are correct in that. So that answers that. But then like, is that the language we use throughout as electoral districts?
Yeah, electoral districts would be pretty a pretty broad way to describe them, which is otherwise, yeah, we would be like in the US, we would call them states, but we don't have like states of colleges.
Right,
Uh,
right.
so
Okay.
and then if I could just give one more suggestion also about like the process to ratify this constitution. So it does require it to be reviewed also by, I believe, VP of Student Affairs is a brand new thing that they just added, as well as the president of the university. I don't think they can say no to it, but they can like they just have to review it.
Yeah, so that actually changed at Board of Regents meeting. It now goes to Dean of the Graduate College for a review. And again, it's just a review period. It's not a yes, no decision period. And then it just goes to the president's office as a formality to send on to the chancellor, but it doesn't need to technically be reviewed by the president.
Got it. Okay, I didn't know they added the grad college dean because
Yep.
when that was brought to my attention, it was student affairs, and I was like, "Hey, we should probably do the dean of the grad college," and then I was told no.
Yep,
But that seems to have changed.
Yeah, no, at last quarterly Board of Regent meetings during NSA Council, I remembered that comment from you, and I was like, hi, we really need to do this. So they put it, they had NC General Counsel added in really quick for us before they voted.
Oh, awesome. Thank you.
Sure.
And then, so like really the only thing I was going to add to that then would just be if for some reason, and knocking on wood that this doesn't happen, but if for some reason like the entire document is not accepted, but they want to allow parts of it, Article 1, Section, oh, there's like a weird numbering convention, Section 4, it looks like, sources of funding. That is where we put in the fee increase process, like a constitutionally provided fee increase process. That is word for word what CSUN has in their constitution. So we can most certainly at least get that language approved by the end of the year.
Okay, awesome. So then, correct me if I'm wrong, Devin. But so these changes were already all voted on by council except for like Peter's comments. So if there's nothing like substantially changing, do we have to put it back up to council vote, or can we just accept his revisions or deny them and then send it to Alyssa and then to President Heavey?
I would still do council approval just to be safe, because like yeah, like some of that language about like how the seats are allocated to the electoral districts, that got taken out. So I don't know. It would probably be good just to have council be like, hey, these are the changes, and this is the work that we're going to have to do to make sure that the bylaws are updated with the Constitution as well.
Okay, so then do you think next easiest steps would be as if we just had this document with his comments go to Constitution and bylaws? The group of them can just filter through and accept or deny them really quick, and then put it up to council and then boot it up to Alyssa? Or what do you think the easiest, quickest route would be?
Yeah, probably Constitution and bylaws. That way, like a recommendation and summary document can be put together, and then that'll just be what the council has to read. They probably won't have to read like line for line all of the revisions. They'd be encouraged to, but they wouldn't be required to.
Perfect. And yes, Nia, I will grab that. It's in an email somewhere, so I'll grab that and then just email it to you, Rachel, so that we can attach it with the minutes for the exact Board of Regents wording.
Sounds
And
good.
then, Devin, I'm so sorry. Can you say that one more time? I just blanked on everything just now.
Yeah, no worries. So yeah, next step, probably send it to Constitution and bylaws. I think I'm still on that committee, so I can help facilitate that committee getting started and stuff. But first step, Constitution bylaws, a report will be generated on Peter's recommendations, and then the council will receive Peter's recommendations plus the committee report summarizing what changed.
Perfect. And then Nehemiah.
Yeah, just a question. Based on the electoral college or electoral district you're talking about, I just want to know, have we allocated the 25 representatives across is it the colleges or the electoral? Have we done that to be able to know how many each college or each electoral district will have?
Yes, the document that Trey had up earlier did have like our initial estimate of how many seats each college would get, but that would probably ultimately be decided by a bylaw change. we would probably write like literally into the bylaws, College of Education gets 3 seats, whatever number.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Other comments on Constitution? If not, we'll kick it back to C and B and revisit at council. Okay. Before we close this item, also randomly, Devin, any chance you're interested in being chair of Constitution and Bylaws?
I am more than willing to stay on as chair. I am quite familiar with these documents, and I feel like I can navigate them pretty easily now.
Okay, then I will put that on our next council agenda. Do I have to put you on council agenda to make you chair? No?
No, bylaws say that the committee itself chooses the chair, but
Okay.
it would probably be up to the committee to actually appoint me, but I think I can make a decent case.
Okay, well then I will build that agenda and make sure we have chair elections, constitution, bylaws, and everything else we've chatted about on there. And hopefully you become the next chair, because I would really appreciate all of your hard work. But yeah. So then on that note, we are going to move on. We have 1 hour and I have a super hard cutoff for us on this hour. So we're going to speed round it. But let's go ahead and close item 6A. We're going to boot that over to Constitution and Bylaws as a next step. And we are at the same time, can I have a motion to open item 7, new business?
Yeah, so move the motion.
Perfect.
Name
Moved by our VP. Can I get a second?
Second.
Okay, seconded by our secretary. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Nehemiah Kalyani, can I get an aye?
Aye.
from you?
Aye.
Perfect, thank you. So with that passed 4-0 to 0, we're gonna move into new business. I am going to take I'm gonna take us out of order on this one. This is the section that changed in the, sorry, Nia, what was this? This is the section that changed in the PGM, Procedures and Guidelines Manual, Title 2, Chapter 2. Oh, okay. Cool. So I'm going to take us out of order because we have just a few things. So let's go to item 7. We're in 7? Yeah, 7C, Executive Board Retreat Planning Update. I'm going to hand this over to our GPSA Manager and Advisor, Nia, as she might have more information and details for us on our retreat in a couple of weeks.
Hello. All right. Yes. So first of all, we wanted to just highlight what time everything's going to start. Really, it's just planning a retreat. So we did do this. We've only done this one up in Mount Charleston once before, and we did that with the 2023-2024 executive board. And it varies a little bit how we do this retreat. It depends on the board. It depends on the availability of the people and the willingness of the board to be able to meet overnight. So a couple of things that do come to mind are what I know that folks have things going on outside of working hours, and I can't tell sometimes if it's easier to have things during the work days, or is it easier to have things in the evenings or the weekends, or maybe it's a blend of both. Trey and I had discussed we went back and forth a little bit. Do we want to do the retreat on August 6th and 7th? Those are the dates that I currently have a hold on there. It's a Thursday and a Friday. The other option would be like Friday the 7th and Saturday the 8th. Does that make life a little bit easier on folks? And Trey, actually, I'm not sure how exactly you asked for this. Trey, would you like a moment to, I would recommend that there be a motion on the floor to suspend Robert's rules for this portion so you guys can talk a little bit more freely.
Yes. Yeah, can I have a motion to suspend Robert's rules for the remainder of these, of item 7C?
So move the motion, VP Chukara.
Perfect, moved by our VP. Can I get a second?
Second.
Okay, cool. Seconded by our secretary. Quick vote, all in favor, please say aye.
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 Perfect, with a vote of 4-0 to 0. Robert's rules are suspended for the remainder of this item.
All right, perfect. Now we can talk a little bit more humanistically. All right, so we talked about right now the calendar holds for August 6th and 7th, so Thursday into Friday. So the way that this worked in 2023-24, we headed up there in the morning on Thursday. We did do a lunch at the Mount Charleston Resort, the lodge up there. I don't know how many of y'all have been up to Mount Charleston. It is about 20 degrees cooler, so it's a nice little reprieve over the summer, a little change of scenery. And I think some folks even carpooled. They arranged on their own, but it's about an hour from here, so it makes it feel a little bit more removed. And then we were able to reserve one of their meeting rooms. It's just a small room that they have on one of the floors that we were able to work out of. And then we did agendize the 2 days as just training sessions, just to kind of make sure we were compliant with everything. And basically, we recorded the sessions for all day. And they were just training sessions. They were workshop sessions. So it was just a workshop basically for the next 2 days. And what we discussed on those 2 days were, what does the upcoming year look like through the rest of the term? So exactly what kind of event, what are the annual goals that y'all want to put forth in September to get approved by council? What specific events are coming up that are more staple events, kind of traditional events that GPSA always does? What other things could be put forth to help support those annual goal objectives? What are some of the weaknesses and the strengths that GPSA currently has? What are other areas that we could support our council, for example, especially if we do a seat change? How do we help those folks, for example, who aren't from specific departments, reach out and talk to those departments and make themselves available? So there's a lot of different things that get discussed at this kind of a retreat. And so we do things similarly. We did something similar with, and actually Devin went to the last piece. So we did that on campus before. We'd had whole day sessions where we went over like how to use team dynamics, how to get trained in that. I think Nehemiah is right now the only one who's been properly trained in TDX of the whole exec board. So like those kinds of, it would be definitely, we'd have about a half day just to learn how to use that software. How to navigate the Google Drive. So it's a bit of it's literally just a training of how to do the student government with the resources we already have, and another portion is the actual planning portion. So I guess let's hone in the dates first, and then I can formally write out the agenda so it makes a little bit more sense for each day.
Yeah. So I mean, we have the 6th and 7th on the calendars. I guess I'm fine either way. Personally, I would prefer that if we did the 7th and 8th, just because I know a lot of President's Cabinet has already responded saying that they're not available to come on the 7th. So if we could move it to a weekend, that would be nice. And I also have a meeting with Alyssa on the 6th. So I would like to do that still, but if not, I can always happily move it. So I'm open to hearing what everyone else here has to say. But let's go Nehemiah. And Robert's rules are suspended, Nehemiah, so you can just jump in.
Okay. All right. Yeah, thank you. I'm actually cool with the 7th and 8th. You can have it Friday, Saturday, 7th and 8th. That's fine. But my second question is, I know you mentioned the president's cabinet, that's the directors. What about the associate directors? Are they going to be present also?
So we don't, I mean, with the exception of your committee, we don't have any assistant directors yet. So I was just thinking just the directors, but if there's somebody else you wanted to include, I am not against it.
Yeah, so I'm thinking, why won't it be possible for we to get the associate directors on board so that they can be part of the retreat? Because we already have that of the sponsored funding already.
Yeah, so I just don't know how feasible it will be to get them on by then, just being like super honest with you, just because I want to meet with all of the directors, see what they're looking for in their deputy directors, have applications go out to everyone, and then they have to also come to council to be confirmed. So I just to be honest, by the 8th, I don't think that that's going to be possible.
Or deputy directors, or do those folks have to get approved by council? I can't remember if
we did last year, yeah.
Okay, I couldn't remember how we did that. Okay, cool. So they do have to get approved by council.
Yes. Yeah, only because we're paying them. So
since we have that sponsor division, for that sponsored and funded division, can he be present during the retreat?
Wait, do you have your person appointed already, Nehemiah?
Yes, we do. That's what I'm asking.
So they're already appointed, that's right. Oh, they're your vice chair, right? And they're also going to be their sponsored funding.
Yeah.
Got it. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yes. So I'm fine with your person coming too. So
Can I ask on rooms? So typically we would do, everyone gets their own room. Obviously we are having a little bit of a financial constraint. So I would like the officers to still have their own rooms, but is there that we could combine rooms so we can save a little bit of money on that? Because it isn't overnight, or are we thinking that the folks would come up all for both nights? Are we thinking that it would just be officers one day and then everybody else the following?
yeah, so that was my original thought because I thought that's what we said, Nia,
I think
was it was just going to be executive board and you and Bill for staying the night and then inviting the president's cabinet up on the second day.
I was gonna jump in really quick. That works better for me because I would not be able to do overnight anyway. I'm dog sitting next that week, so I don't want to leave him alone all night.
Definitely.
That's fair. You don't want to have a mess.
Perfect. Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
so
So
are
day
we
one would be
feeling
more workshopping, and then day two would be more training.
yes. I think I like that idea. Yes. And how does, I guess, double checking from everyone, is everyone else okay with Friday, Saturday instead of Thursday, Friday?
Friday, Saturday for me. Yeah, that's best.
Yeah, Friday, Saturday for me also. That's good.
Okay. Rachel, what's your thoughts?
Go work.
Wait, what'd you say?
I said I'll make it work.
Okay.
No, well, we don't want to make
Yeah, we don't want you to have to make it work. So if you're super opposed, let us know.
Yeah, this is the
No, I'm not super opposed. It's fine. No, I can make it work. My husband will just have to take care of some things for me instead with the kids, so it'll be good.
Okay. If you're sure. I really don't want to
Yes.
throw you off. So
I don't we
feel you on
need
this,
to
Rachel.
do this, so I think it's good, and if it works Friday, Saturday for everybody, then I will make it work as well. It works better for I have a class that I'm taking, so I'd only be missing the last day anyway, so
okay.
Can I also suggest on Saturday, because some folks do have families, what are we interested in doing a hike at the end of the day on Saturday, or any kind of like outdoor activities? We could always invite some extra folks to make it like
I mean,
smaller creatures that might be related to us.
yeah, I mean, if you guys want to bring your smaller people, I think that's fine. If you guys want to do a hike, that sounds great for you guys. I will not be partaking in a hike. I am physically like appalled to the idea of hiking.
You don't hike just to hike, you hike to go see stuff you can't see off of the path.
Yeah, no, I mean, if I'm not walking up, I mean, I just did Griffith Peak like 3 weeks ago, so
I'll bring an e-bike. I'll bring my e-bike.
yes. But no, I'm down to walk around. I'm down to just see a couple little things. And I think if we want to invite families out there, if that is up to all of you guys, but I'm happy with them all showing up if they would like to show up.
All right. So then on day one, we'll do workshopping. So let's try and start. So we're doing this on August 7th.
7th and 8th.
7th, the Friday, and 8th, which is a Saturday.
Yep.
Okay. And then we will start. So typically last time we tried to start this round, maybe we depart Vegas around 9 a.m., which would put us up in Charleston around 10 a.m. for breakfast. Just meet at 10 for breakfast from wherever it is that you're starting from. If folks want to figure out carpooling, totally fine. I'm happy to drive some folks. If y'all want to drive with me, I'm also down for that. I got 4 extra seats in my car. Well, nope, I can take car seat out. We have 4 extra seats in my car. So we'll do 10 a.m. starting. I guess it'll be a brunch. We'll do brunch.
Perfect. I love a good brunch.
And then we'll go into a work session. Then we'll go until about we'll probably go until right about 5 o'clock, and then we'll just schedule breaks in between snacks.
Perfect.
And then the following day it'll be similar, probably start at 9 and then we'll go to 5-ish on Saturday. And if we end early, great.
Yeah, no, that works. And on Saturday, I would just ask for an hour for me to have time to meet with President's Cabinet, just before we get everything started. But after that,
Okay. So 9 a.m.
that-
will be the set. So 9 a.m. set. Well, yeah, intends to make them leave it. Is the President's Cabinet gonna hate y'all if you guys make them leave Vegas at 8 a.m. to get up to Charleston on Saturday?
Devin, how much would you hate us if we made you
You
leave at
know,
8?
it's early for a Saturday, but I can make it's fine. That's fine with me.
Why don't we make it a 10 a.m. meet with them?
Yeah.
And then we could do a little bit of stuff in the morning, like a stroll, a leisurely,
We
in a
can have
time
a
where it's a lot of passeggiata.
Yeah, no, we can have like a continental breakfast by opening at
breakfast.
9. And if you
Breakfast at 9, and then the President's Cabinet can join. And
Yep.
Okay, how's that? And then there'll be a
Instead
10,
of the stroll, we will eat.
yeah, so
Perfect.
10 a.m. meeting with the President's Cabinet.
Perfect. I like it.
Okay, is that a little better, Devin?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Perfect. Okay, so then we will see people at 10. I will remember to email Cabinet and tell them that the date is Saturday, the 8th, because I know I sent an original thing to everyone about the 7th, but Devin, take that off your calendar and plan the 8th, please.
All right, so one of the action items, and actually, GPSA Secretary Rachel, would you mind sending out a calendar invite to the President's Cabinet people for 10 a.m.?
Sure.
Cool.
Do I have the full President's Cabinet?
If you don't, I will get it to you because I have a email list. So
Okay. Yeah, would you do that for
Yep.
me?
Cool. So Trey will
And
email
then
it to
I can
Rachel.
also have Nick fix that in the members groups as well.
perfect.
Oh,
I will.
perfect. Thank you. You'll fix that in the Google Groups, President's Cabinet. Google
Cool.
will be up to date. Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Yes.
The council is for summer is set in the Google groups, but I don't have anything else.
Cool.
Okay, so summer council is set.
Yes.
And then we'll have the Google group for the President's Cabinet. And I believe we do add the associate directors to that. And also, were we talking about a language change for associate? Do we want to change that to deputy directors? I can't remember.
Yes, I have already started changing it on our agendas. I would prefer deputy,
Okay.
but not that deep either way to me. So
Okay.
Yeah, same here. I prefer deputy directors. Yeah, I think that works best.
All right.
Perfect.
I will use that language from here on out. So the deputy directors will get added to the President's Cabinet listserv too? Do we?
yes, I think we should.
Okay, cool.
Get
So
them
the
all in.
President will be the whole group.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, so we're sending it to President's Cabinet and deputy directors.
Yes.
Yes.
And then just for the minutes, so the President's Cabinet should include all of the executive board officers, the directors of the, just like if we have a historian and an attorney general, it would include also the sponsored funding director, the legislative affairs director, communications marketing director, and the operations director, who is also serves doubles as the attorney general, I believe. So
No,
anyone,
remember we separated that out.
are they separated now?
Yeah.
Great.
So I will send an updated list of all of the positions of all of the
Yes.
people and all of the things.
Excellent.
That would be
But-
greatly appreciated.
And did we rename director of operations to the program operations? Did we do that, or is that a council item?
No, we did rename them to director of operations, and then we have separate spots for attorney general and historian.
Okay. All right, perfect. Thank you. Thanks. This is great. Love the teamwork.
Yes,
Collectively, we all have one memory.
yes, and I hold the least amount of it. So, but anything else on retreat? Sorry, I'm going to keep us very on track for the next 49 minutes.
Nope. So I now that I know so day one will be the workshopping portion just with the executive board officers. We will start with a brunch at 10 a.m. and then we will do day two training on Saturday, 9 a.m. We will still do breakfast. And then at 10 a.m. you'll meet with your president's cabinet, and the rest of the agenda I will structure and I will send that out to you guys. I'll have that I'm hoping to have that done by the end of next week. Tentative agenda, and then you guys can take a look at it and we'll add things as we go. And then what we will also do is just to stay in line with open meeting law, we will still agendize this and post it. It will just be, we'll suspend Robert's rules for the entire meeting, and then we'll still record the meeting so that way it's publicly available, but we won't, there'll be closed meetings because it's workshopping, so we won't open it to the public.
Perfect. Okay, well then on that note, I'm gonna go ahead and close 7C, and at the same time, let's jump to 7F really quick, which is going to be Gateway Office Workspace update, and I'm gonna hand it right back to you, Nia.
Reinstating?
Oh yeah, Robert's rules are reinstated as we've moved on to the next item, unless we need to suspend it again, but I think this one's just a quick update from you, Nia, so.
Yes, so this is, in the Gateway building on the second floor, so this is something we do want to talk with the graduate college about. It's something we'd like to present. I spoke with Trey about this, and there's been some space reorganizations happening around campus. These are kind of inevitable, happen all the time. But there was a group called Career Services that was in the second floor of Gateway building. They have since moved out. I spoke with some of the other staff over there, and they asked if GPSA would like to propose to the dean requesting a couple of offices or maybe even like some cubicle spaces on the second floor now that they're available, because available space doesn't stay available for very long. Somebody's going to be moving in there. And I also think it'd be nice for the grad college to know who their neighbors are on one hand. On the other hand, it would be nice to know that if we are over at Gateway, you have a space to work in. So you don't need to, quickly run over to the other side of campus, run across the street in Maryland Parkway again. This could be a request. So it should basically just be a memo request to the dean. Hey, GPSA would like to have an opportunity to be in the Gateway building again, like in the past. Y'all used to have 4 cubicles in the Gateway building. That was in 2018. Anyway, it was when grad college first moved over there. And then the pandemic broke out, and then folks never really went back to that space. And then it wasn't being used, so it got gobbled up by other areas on campus, which of course we don't want wasted space just sitting there. So if that's something you guys are interested in, the other option would be maybe asking for a couple of those office spaces. There are a couple of office spaces in the corner that the grad college sits in, maybe like 1 or 2 of those. That way, if the officers are meeting over there, you guys have a place where you can just work out of during regular business hours. So it'd be 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. But it'd be available to y'all to pop in there and use that space for whatever you might need.
Perfect. I will say I think that that's a good idea. I always like having space, so take it when we can is my opinion. But yeah, any other thoughts on that from anyone?
So to clarify, this is Rachel for the record. So we would have 2 spaces in the Gateway building and the grad commons, or this is just 1 space?
Great question. So this would be an additional space. So basically you guys have your cubicles in the graduate commons. You guys do have those 4 cubicles there. We also have the CHBC office. You guys are more than welcome to work out of. Then this would be an additional space over in the Gateway building, because we do work closely with the graduate college on so many things, and we often have meetings over there. So that way you guys have a place that you could work out of if you so choose.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you for clarifying.
Yeah. So I think, yes, we should email or meet with the dean of grad college and get her thoughts and opinions. I would love to have some space over there, especially like Nia said, we meet with people over there and we partner with grad college a lot. So it would really save all of us a little bit of time from running across campus. But
Also, Nia's Christina for the record. Also, I think it just gives you guys a little bit of space to be able to, if you have to work on something that day and you know it's GPSA related, sometimes it is easier, especially if you're working on something that's collaboration, like homecoming or a project or the shoot, we're doing that campus-wide survey. That's coming up this year. We're really pushing forward with that because the RB is about to be approved. It would be easier to be able to work on stuff like that and then like yell down the hallway to somebody like, hey, I got this thing, instead of organizing a meeting. It just makes things a little bit more organic.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so then we'll take it to, I guess, to a quick vote because we did say for, oh wait, what Devin say? If you reach agreement with Alyssa, a memo of understanding would just need to be submitted to council. Those usually go into consent agenda since it's non-controversial. Thank you, Devin. I will make sure that we do that. So then we'll just take a quick vote because it says for possible action. Are you all okay with Nia and I meeting with Dean Crittenden to get some potential office space in the Gateway building? All in favor, please say aye. Yeah, perfect. Aye. Yes, Nia.
So since that passed, I would just suggest for your August 6th meeting agenda item, if you wouldn't mind just like bringing it up in a one-on-one, I think that'd be a great place for a one-on-one. Oh, and actually I have to step away for a moment. So sorry, I have somebody at my front door.
Yeah.
Thanks, folks.
Okay, so that passes with a vote of 4-0 to 0. Thank you so much. Let's go ahead and I'm going to move us into 7E. This one is going to take me like 2 minutes for you all. So I do want to, I guess now I don't know if it's as relevant because we have our executive board retreat, but I was thinking of having like a cabinet and actually, no, it's still relevant. My apologies. A cabinet and council training day. We might not need to do council for it because we're inviting them up to executive board retreat. So I just want to have a day scheduled early August, or I'm sorry, mid-August once fall council gets in, start of September, where we can just have a training day to go over Robert's rules, how to post agendas, making sure you are getting on your committees, knowing about all the events that are coming up for the semester. Rachel, that's a good time that we can remind everybody that meetings will be in person because that is what our bylaws say, unless approved with whatever form we're still making for that. We can invite, yeah, I mean, just the whole logistics training, go over rules, expectations, scheduling, getting out all of our calendar dates for the entire year, making sure everybody's on the same page as us, and anything else we have. I would like to have our director of operations help schedule a day of training with council members, and we'll invite cabinet and exec board obviously as well. We can hopefully do a little bit of talking. For anybody who's going to be on like sponsorship committee, Nehemiah, maybe you can have like a little bit of time with them so that you can say, hey, here's our expectations. We can, you know, get everyone's committee opinions, everything, and just build out like a after work hours, like a 5:30 to like 9 o'clock day, or if we want it to be on a Saturday or whatever works. But Rachel, I see your hand up.
I just want to clarify because you said we are inviting council up, but aren't we only inviting cabinet directors?
Yeah, that's why I said I'm not relevant for the cabinet part for anymore.
Okay, you had said council, so I was confused.
Yeah, no, sorry.
So I want to make sure we're on the same page.
Yeah, nope. I just want to plan a day for council to have training.
Council training. Got
which
it.
will not be it won't be a whole retreat. It'll just be like we reserve space in the student union or wherever and we make a day of it. So
perfect.
Yes, but thank you. Any other thoughts? Anyone for or against it?
Definitely for.
Okay, then can I just have a motion to approve the planning of a council training day? And next time we meet, I will bring you all some budget information and everything like that.
So moved.
Perfect. Moved by our secretary. Can I get a second?
Second.
Second.
Perfect. Seconded by our VP. And all in favor, please say aye.
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 Perfect. Okay, so then I will go ahead and once we have our list of full council members, Rachel, maybe me and you can work on that a little bit, and we'll bring in director of operations. We'll start planning
Yep.
a whole day's worth, or not a whole day. I'm thinking like a half day, like 4 hours. We can start planning a day of it, looking at calendars and finding the best times. We'll probably bug Nia about that later too, but I'll get that all started and working. And then on that note, can we go ahead and open 7B? This is going to be Attorney General and Historian position, job position descriptions. So I put in the docs. Yes, so in the agenda, there is a link for you all, EB 46-003, Attorney General and Historian job position descriptions. If you guys could just look it over once, that would be great. If there's anything that you think should change, but I would like to post the job Attorney General and Historian out and have it go out to everyone so that people can start applying, and hopefully us picking an AG and historian before our September meeting so that we can get them up on council as well. And I will also be very honest, I don't really know all of the duties of a attorney general and a historian. So me and my friend ChatGPT did go back and forth on this for a little bit as a quick disclaimer. But I'll give you all a moment, but feel free to interject if you have questions, comments, concerns, emotional outbursts.
Can I offer one comment?
Yeah, please.
So Devin Lopez for the record. Yeah, so the attorney general position was a weird one that I don't think I really fully understood what to do with it. It sort of eventually just got morphed back into the director of operations, and it was mostly dealing with like logistical things. I don't know, maybe if the executive board would want to consider something like maybe only keeping like the historian and then like distributing the power of like what would be an attorney general just back to the Constitution and Bylaws Committee, since they're the ones that deal with these documents. Because otherwise it would require someone that gets hired as attorney general to like very quickly get familiar with the bylaws, the Constitution, and like historical practices of GPSA. That's just something to consider. You're obviously more than welcome to keep this position and find someone for it. I don't know if like time wise, getting someone hired and getting them familiar with our documents would be that feasible.
Yeah, no, I mean, great points. I guess my kind of two parts to that and would be for Attorney General. One, I was thinking it could be a student from Boyd School of Law, just because I think that that's something that looks also good on like a resume for law students who are trying to move up, being a part of student government in that world. So I think I would like to keep the position. But yeah, I think a law student would be great at it. I know our law council rep would be a good one, and so would the president of the Student Bar Association at the law school. I think both of them could probably jump up to speed pretty quickly. But I also am fine with the idea of it going to Constitution and bylaws, but I'm open to anybody's thoughts there as well. And thank you, Devin. Okay. Any other comments on either the positions or their job descriptions? Okay. Well, then, not hearing any. Devin, would you be like super opposed if I kept my AG position, or would you prefer it back in Constitution bylaws?
Oh no, I just wanted to give like my personal experience in the past year. I just didn't really know what to do with the position. But yeah, if you were able to find someone, that would be amazing.
Okay, perfect. Well then, I will keep both of those up. I will get some things going out. I think I am going to target the Attorney General to be coming from Boyd Law School rather than sending it out to all of grad and professional students. One, because we got weirdly way more applications when we did that for President's Cabinet than I was expecting, and I don't want to filter through 200 applications again. But I do think I would like AG to come from the law school, and I will bring that up when I meet with their dean next week, and they can hopefully help us just target some good candidates and options. And I will put someone up to council when we identify someone. And then historian will post out to, I guess, do you guys want historian to come from anywhere specific, or are you guys okay with it just going out to all grad and professional students as another opportunity to get involved? Okay.
Yeah, fine with that.
Okay, cool. So then I will go ahead, use those job descriptions that are in the drive. Rachel, if we could save that as a PDF now, it is now ready to go up for minutes and everything. Apologies for not having it more finished until about 22 minutes ago. Okay, so next up, I'm making sure I'm not missing anything, is we're going to go to item 7D, a discussion on creating an actual GPSA shared drive. Yeah, so I know we have our different Google Drive folders. I just think that we can kind of move things around, clean things up, and have kind of like two, like have one GPSA shared drive, and then in that shared drive have a public and an internal where we can outline and move everything so that it's just not in like 7 different drives all over the place. I see Rachel has her hand up, but also if Nia wants to jump in at all, I would welcome any points, conversations. But Rachel, you're
Yeah, I had, because I don't know, Nia hopefully will be responding, but when I spoke to her about it, she said that there was some difficulty in getting a shared drive through the school for GPSA, having to do with the way that the accounts are set up, and that is why they did it as a folder. There is the GPSA folder that is shared among all 4 people and acts like a drive. So I think Nia can speak to that more, but I do believe that's why it's set up the way that it's set up. I don't know if we can change it. We might have to work with whoever does like Google Workspace and Google Drives in IT to see if there's the option to switch it to a drive.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you, Devin. I actually have a meeting with Kavanch in 31 minutes.
Okay.
So I can definitely reach out and see where the holdup might be. But like, for example, I think the best way to do it would be to use the GPSA at UNLV email as like the primary owner of the drive. And then having that email create the drive, we can add us to it. And then it would be up to like you, Rachel, as secretary, and Nia to kind of monitor and add people in and take people out when appropriate. But I will double check if that's all okay with Kavanch in 30 minutes.
Yeah, let me know. And I could definitely help facilitate that organization.
Perfect. Yeah. I was thinking like if it wants to be you or I don't want to put too much work on you. And I think that is also a good project for our director of operations to help really flush all of that out and cohesively build things and start taking the time to move things. Hi, Nia, welcome back. We are in item 7D. We're talking about the possibilities of building an actual GPSA shared drive that can have like just the shared drive, and then there can be a public folder and then an internal folder. Rachel is updating us on, we had folders because of something wrong with the Google Workspaces. But if you have any more comments on that, I am happy to, but I think it would just help organize us a little bit more. And then like kind of mimic like what CSUN does, is having their one shared drive where there's the public facing side and then the internal side to.
Are you talking, sorry, Nia Sparcina for the record. So are you talking about like when you go into the Google Drive, you have like the shared with me and it's like or like shared drives?
No, I'm thinking of making like an actual shared drive because, yeah.
For like Rebel files?
No, not through Rebel files. Like, because like right now you have like the Google Drive that says like GPSA and it's in like just a shared by someone and it's like a folder that we can all just start adding to. Thinking we make like an actual shared drive, like a shared Google workspace rather than just folders.
Oh, so like, so I want to see how the GPSA drive, how is it different than because the GPSA drive, you can limit those. If you do a right click on the folders, you can limit who has access to which folders. And we could do an internal version of that. Or are you looking for something that's.
So I guess like my mindset with this is just that like I very much struggle finding things in our drive. So I was hoping that like we could have, our director of operations, Jared, like help slowly go out and build everything out so that it's all in one place. It's all kind of cleaned up. Cause like I know there's like a president's folder and then there's other ones. And then there's like the one that's like weirdly colored red and I don't know how we did that, but like there's all the things, so I'm just trying to find a way to like centralize and keep everything a little more organized because I get very lost looking for things. And
so I think I can sit down with the operations director as well, Nia Sparcina again for the record. So in the past, this is what the GPSA drive did serve in this purpose, and it gets messy. And it takes time to go back and clean it all up. But that is why that drive is shared with all of the GPSA email accounts. So it is a shared space. So maybe what we could do is, because again, like I know some things get saved in the GPSA president's drive and then the secretary drive, and then they don't get saved into the GPSA folder. But that would be more of a procedural change, just a process change. Make sure that people, when they share something, that it is saved in the GPSA drive. This will become the space that you're imagining. Because it did used to serve that way. I think it's just gotten messy.
Sorry, Rachel.
I'm sorry, I should have raised my hand.
No, you're good.
The GPSA drive that exists right now is a folder, not a drive, which is what creates the confusion.
What happened? Oh, sorry, Nia Sparcina again for the record. So I did go down this route. This was a rabbit hole back. Oh my gosh, it was probably over 5 years ago. So the way Google Drives work is that so unless you do like an actual shared drive, which there is a shared, if you go on your GPSA drive window, I'm just going to share my screen.
Please.
As fun as it is to talk in the abstract. Yeah, this one.
And I am going to give us a 10-minute timer on this topic so that we can get to the last part.
We'll take 5.
Perfect.
Okay. All right. Can you all see my screen yet?
Yes.
Okay, great. I lost can you see the one where it's actually like me moving my mouse?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay. I'll zoom this in just a smidge for everybody. All right. So in here, there's a shared drive option. And technically we do have a shared drive that we don't use anymore because it was way too confusing. I might even say GPSA. This is really, really old. Yeah, this guy, 4 people in it. I don't even know who's in it. We do not use this. So the disadvantage back then, maybe things have changed with Google Drives over the last 5 years, but back in the day, this was not conducive to sharing it with like Rebel emails. We do have the GPSA emails now, but like maybe council shared drives, there were issues with getting this properly shared and contributed to by people. It was limited. So what we did instead was we went to the My Drive and I created the GPSA because we couldn't share a drive from here. You can't share this. So I created a folder in quotation marks that basically serves this same purpose. And that's the GPSA drive because it's shareable. I can share it with council members. We can limit it folders. I have more sharing restrictive capabilities in this than I did with certain things in the shared drive. So it's something we could explore. Maybe the shared drive is better now. Maybe there are some changes made by Google, but that is the GPSA drive.
Okay. Or what about like like a GPSA workspace?
Oh, it probably helps too if I'm actually in the GPSA version. Here we go.
Like again, because like I see
yes.
I see what
I-
you did and it all makes sense. I'm just like trying to like,
I
there's just like
totally-
so many things.
I know exactly what you mean by workspaces because those are newer as well. So workspaces are actually really similar to Slack. And part of me is like, since workspaces came out after UNLV adopted Slack. And so part of me is like, why don't we just do, by the way, I'm in the middle of sending you an email about housing from here. Yeah, it's so so in case you guys aren't familiar with Google Workspaces, I was playing with those too. We can create a Google workspace that literally would serve pretty much the same function as Slack. And there's it would be attachments, you can do meets in there, you can do all sorts of things in it. I think we just need to make a choice if we're going to do a workspace or if we're going to utilize Slack for that, because we could use Slack for this purpose. Maybe this becomes the space that we all communicate in and save files, because there's a lot of things that we can do with Slack since we have it. Or do you guys want to move to workspace? But I definitely think we should explore the options and pick one. Otherwise, it's going to get confusing.
No, so I agree. I guess like my only thought is I just want a way that makes it easiest for us internally to work. So have a spot where executive board can kind of operate, a spot where all of council can come, and then a spot where the public can also go and view documents as well. Like rather than it always just having, because so what I'm gonna refer back to CSUN, and this was like 6 years ago for me. But like CSUN has a shared drive called the
Like
CSUN. Yes, similarly. They have in here, they have a shared drive. It's called CSUN. You open it, and there are two folders on the first page. One says public, where we upload only PDF versions of things that are accessible. They can backtrack all the minutes, everything similarly. And then there's an internal drive, which is closed off. And that drive is broken down with permissions for like executive board, cabinet, and then all of their senators, but like our council members. So
I love this idea. So actually, this does operate like that normally. So you see all of these things from here down to like here and this guy. These are all not organized. They're not filed properly. Normally, this has a GA folder and GPSA drive, and that's it. When I say normally, I mean that's how it was when when it was perfectly organized. That's how it looked. So it was just two folders, the GPSA drive and that. I like the idea of the public drive. So that's what this folder used to serve to GPSA public agendas, minutes, and recordings for website. We used to, so UNLV used to allow your website to link to a Google folder, and that's where we would just upload our agendas. Then they realized that they couldn't control the ADA compliance through that. They couldn't make control if documents are accessible through a Google folder, so we had to turn that off. So that's why this folder is GPSA public. That's why it's called this, because that's originally served as our public folder. And then everything else is internal. So we have a council folder that we can share with council, and I think a great project would be to sit with the secretary and the GPS and director of operations, because it shouldn't be all these little pieces in here. They look a little bit out of place. Actually, this one stays here because it's the NSHE minutes when GPSA became a student organization. That's why this is here. November 6th is our birthday.
Perfect.
And that's why these folders exist the way they do. So we could restructure these and honestly, I think clean these up, and I think it's going to look like what you're hoping to find.
Okay, I'm fine doing that then. Rachel, if you would want to help do that with our director of operations and Nia. If not, I don't want to throw too much work on you, so you can also just say, pass that on to operations.
I'm more than happy to be involved. I have to do a lot of work within the drive, so it would be great to be involved in how that looks. And I'm also creating a handover document for the next secretary, and all of that would be
perfect
in that, so that we can hand over organization to the next person as well. So
perfect. So then I'm going to say we're good here, and we are going to kick it back to operations, our secretary and our advisor, to find a way to work together to clean this up so that Trey doesn't lose his mind every time he opens a folder because he doesn't know where things are.
Use Christina for the record. Documentation. Thank you. That documentation's been on annual goals list for GPSA for ever. And so I think like Devin cleaning up the Constitution, huge documentation step.
Yep.
Goal made. I think maybe this will be an annual goal to clean up the internal drive folders so that way transitions are smoother and documents are easier to find.
Perfect. I love that.
So let's maybe add that. I'm calling it Project GPSA Drive Cleanup, and maybe add it to I don't know if it would be an annual goal, but maybe an objective to service that documentation goal.
I like it.
Or clean transitions goal, maybe.
I like it. Okay, any other comments on cleaning up this GPSA drive development item? Okay, and if I could ask you to stop sharing your screen, Nia.
100%.
And we are going to move into our last full item of new business, which is 7A. This is just FY 26-27 GPSA budget. So we're not voting on anything. We're not really changing much, but I just wanted you all to see kind of where we are at budget-wise. So I'm gonna share my screen now, but apologies, Chrome tab. Okay, can you all see that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, and Kalyani and Nia, feel free, jump in wherever you feel appropriate. And I can't see any of you because my screen's shared, so just feel free to just start talking. But we have, I believe, about $492,194 for our budget after we take money out for our reserves and everything else. So with how I've kind of laid everything out, we are over budget by about $50,335. So now it's time for us to go through and like make, cuts to everything. I very much made like the wish list of where we could be, and now the rest is for us to pull back out. And Kalyani and I are slowly working on that, and Nia obviously, but kind of jumping through. So operational, we have those expenses are basically just not changing. Those are like Nia's salary, the GAs, our student workers, everything, hosting fees, travel fees, some swag we'll have in there as well. But other than that, nothing really changes here. External sponsorships, we have 2 of them, which is our Care Survivor Fund and Rebel Rebound. I really would like to keep those for as long as we possibly can because they do really, really great work. Executive board stipends. So over here, these are what our stipends currently are. I am gonna, so I feel awkward saying like, I think we should get a pay raise, but I feel like past presidents and treasurers have just been a little more humble, reserved, nice about the work they're doing and okay with it. Devin, feel free to chime in if you want also, if you're still here. But I do think that our pay is very low in the sense that grad college obviously gives us our scholarships, but there is a chance that they could take those away. They could do whatever they want. They could have a bad budget year also. I'm trying to set the tone for GPSA paying their people on their own. So I've put in some proposed options and numbers, but it obviously does take up a large amount of the money, which is a large amount of this like $50,000 overage. So I understand that we might not be able to do the whole thing, but I do want to set the tone for future executive boards and presidents to also pay themselves, where their work kind of levels should be. Outside of that, we have all of our positions and their pay. Nia, since we're going to increase sponsorship, I do need to update these numbers. If you can remind me when we do that. Summer pay. So we're not going to have summer pay for directors because we're having them start in August instead. That was strictly just because I'm trying to find spots where we can cut out our dollar amounts. We have our council seats and stipends, which are here. Discretionary. Again, Neo, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's like 2% of our budget, if I'm right. But we're cutting that down by a little more than half. Again, just trying to find spots to save dollars. These are our typical events that we have. We've started kind of earmarking things. I'm proposing just, again, where cuts can be cut. So council meetings, this is like all the food we typically buy. I just zeroed that out because we've just got our $2,500 catering credits from student affairs again. So we're just going to keep using that and supplement it out. Travel, these are expenses that we just kind of need to maintain. It'll be our retreat, legislative affairs trip, legislator session trip, and then Board of Regents quarterly meetings that I have to attend. So those numbers can't really change too much out of that. And then all of our programs. So sponsorship, we have 190,000. RSO funding, I really wanted to put 7,500, but I think it's going to be closer to 5,000 for this year. Nehemiah, very sorry, but
I almost got happy when I saw 7,500. I was like, wow, nice. Taking it to 5,000. Oh my God.
We will try to keep it, but I really don't know if I can, to be honest, just because I'm trying to pull numbers where we can pull numbers. We're not going to do our open access journal fund anymore, but I did just meet with university libraries deans, and she is checking to see if there's other funding options available for this because they have a larger budget for it of like 10 to 20,000 that she might be able to help us earmark and partner going through GPSA for those awards. And I will update you all on that later. GPSA Awards Committee, and then cap and gown. Nia, you said we didn't need to put dollars there. That puts all of our money out and together. This is where I'm thinking we should be at budget-wise. The proposed rates for executive board increases, everything else. But I'm going to stop sharing now. Oh, Nia, I'm sorry, I didn't see your hand spin up.
Totally fine. It was actually about the Open Access Journal Fund, or OAJF, as I like shorthand it. The executive board should really meet on that program and discuss the process for reviewing those funds and what we would like. The process previously has been a little bit of a challenge. So I think before we reopen that fund, we definitely need to know what the procedure is in reviewing those applications, what we're accepting, et cetera. So that should be, that might take up a whole executive board meeting on its own.
Okay. I am fine with that. I don't know if we're going to, I just don't know if we have the money to even put anything into it right now, but
if we are able to source other funds, if we get the funding, it would be nice to be able to go.
Yeah. Okay. So yes, no, we will definitely carve out time for that because Dean Farrell with libraries was very interested in looking to see what partnerships we can do there. What she did tell me was that they typically will only work in like a matching pattern. So if they're able to give us money, then I just to help kind of fund some of that, I would want to possibly look at our budget and put some money towards it so that libraries also wants to match us so that we can help students with these fees. But yeah, let's put that on an agenda and really sit down and break it up a little more.
Thank you.
Devin.
Yes, Devin Elvis for the record. So one of the line items I saw, the President's Discretionary Fund, was that calculated as a portion of the reserves that would normally be kept in reserves? Because I think what we did last year was we allocated the full 80% that Neo recommended that we would spend and keep the 20% in reserves. But I got one line item that said that it was either 5% or 2.5% was taken from the reserves and just kept as a discretionary fund to be released by Ways and Means. In that case, that would free up 12,500 if you didn't bake that already into the reserves and just keep that extra those extra dollars available in case an emergency or something comes up.
Oh, okay, that's good to know. Nia, I don't know where, or Kalyani, I don't know where that number for discretionary came from, to be very honest with you, Devin. Somebody gave me that number and I just put it in. So if Nia or Kalyani have a answer there, Nia,
Yeah.
and then Nehemiah, I'll jump to you in just a second.
It is calculated off of the percentage of revenue for the year, so not off of any of the reserved amount, but it does not bake into the reserve. So the reserves is a separate thing. And then there's the projected revenue for FY27, and then it's a percentage of that. And actually, I think you're right, Devin. I think it was 2.5%. I think previously, maybe it was 2.5% before of their FY26 projected revenue that you had last term.
Cool. Okay, and then Nehemiah, you had a question?
Yeah. So basically, based on the executive and cabinet stipend. I didn't see the deputy director of sponsored funding there. Yeah, so
Sorry, say that one more time. I'm so sorry I lost you.
so the executive and cabinet stipend did not capture that of the deputy director of sponsored funding. And then for the committee stipend for the sponsorship committee, currently we now have 13 of us, no longer 10. So I don't know how we're going to factor that in also.
Yeah, so when I meet with Nia and Kalyani next week, we will make sure we add in those
Okay.
as well. And you said there's 13 members on sponsorship now?
Yeah, that's it. So, and then that of, yeah.
Okay, I made notes on that, and when the three of us get together next week for our budget meeting, I will make sure that we factor all of this in.
Okay.
Nia.
Just real quick question for Nehemiah. Is the last sponsorship committee agenda, does that have all the current members?
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
So
Would you mind just email me a list of who is on the committee and then what groups they need to be in and TV, or is there anybody that needs to be added to a group in team dynamics?
yeah. Then that's the RSO subcommittee guys. Yeah. They
Okay.
need to be added. Yes, yeah.
Okay.
And then, sorry, just because I do have to run quickly. Is there any more questions on budget, or are we okay to move on? And Nia, I see your hand still up, so never mind. But does anyone else have any questions on budget? Okay, so then I am going to go ahead and close us out of, what item is that? 7A. If you do have questions about it, or if you have anything else, please just shoot us an email. Like I said, Nia, Kalyani, and I are all going to be meeting next Monday. So please, whatever you have, if there's any questions, anything that seems missing, let us know. But we're going to get things going and get it over to Ways and Means and then council pretty quickly. And on that note, I'm going to close item 7 and move us into item 8, announcements. Does anybody have any? And I'm sorry if you already sent. Oh, sorry. Does anybody have any announcements that they would like to share? Okay, not
Yep,
seeing.
thank you. Really quick, list of announcements. I'm working on cleaning up our beautiful list of announcements, that thing with all the things.
Yes.
We'll talk about it at the retreat, but there is a list. So if you have anything that's coming up, just slap it on there kind of egregiously and ugly, and we'll clean it up.
Perfect. Thank you. Any other announcements? Okay, cool. Not seeing any. We're going to move into item 9. Oh,
I am so sorry. I have one more announcement. There was an offer from the Graduate College on July 30th, next week, around 8 a.m. If y'all want to get headshots, Brittany Barksdale offered to do headshots for you guys. If you are interested and available, if only some of you are, if anybody's interested in that window, July 30th at around 8 a.m. Otherwise, we can probably try to schedule something else at a later date. But if you guys also could send me headshots so I can put them on the website, that'd be great.
perfect. No, I think that's a great idea, and I'll email everyone on President's Cabinet too to see if they want to go get a headshot done on the 30th. Do you know what time that's at?
She said 8 a.m. So there is a staff meeting starting, or maybe it was 30. No, it was the 30th. There's a staff thing happening the following day, but she said she'd be available in the morning, first thing, before like other priorities take over her day.
Okay. Well, then I will let Captain also know, but if you don't have a good headshot, I recommend getting one. I'll go get a haircut first. So good reminder. But thank you. Any other announcements? Okay, not send Nia your headshot. Yes. Alrighty, so then we'll go ahead and close announcements and move into item 9, public comment. Same for going message. Rachel, did you see any other emails come through for public comment?
Double check in GPSA, nothing there. Secretary, nothing there.
Okay, there are no public comments in person. Does anybody online have a public comment? Okay, not seeing any. I'm going to go ahead and close public comment, and at 1:57, I'm going to adjourn this meeting. Thank you all for a great one. If we could end the recording.